Senator Marco Rubio is not very happy about the new lawsuit filed against Governor Ron DeSantis. Now, the civil suit filed in Massachusetts alleges that DeSantis had misled migrants who are legally here seeking asylum in accordance to U.S. laws, and that they were misled into believing that they would receive support if they had boarded those planes, which, of course, they did not. But here is Marco Rubio complaining about this lawsuit on Fox News.
People came into this country illegally, violating our laws, okay? And the first thing they do is get lawyers and use our laws to sue an elected governor, to sue a state. I mean, just think about that. They just got here. They're not even here legally. They didn't enter the country the proper way, and they're immediately in court demanding rights and claims under our laws. This is outrageous. What other country in the world would that even be allowed? What other country in the world would even tolerate that? So I think this is, you know, this is not immigration, what we're seeing, okay? This is mass migration. That's a very different thing. But to think about the fact that somebody just came here illegally, and within a week they're in court and they have lawyers representing them in court, suing the American government whose laws they just violated, is unbelievable. It's outrageous. It angers me, and it should anger everybody.
No, it should anger you. Get mad. Get mad. I mean, I just told a bunch of lies, about these migrants, about these asylum seekers. But ignore that. Ignore the reality. Just focus on the fact that you should be mad because brown people have come into the country. Now, again, to be fair, Marco Rubio seems to know his audience, because anybody watching that on Fox News, of course they're going to be angry because they don't care about facts. So now he told us, again, several lies here. Lie number one, they came in the wrong way. They're illegal. They broke U.S. laws. No. They applied for asylum. You have to be on U.S. soil to apply for asylum. Again, they don't care about facts. But secondly, they're not suing the American government. They're suing Ron DeSantis, 3 other officials, and like a Florida department. Why? Because they were lied to and lured onto those planes, and that got dumped off as a political stunt. Now, there was, of course, a brochure that was handed out to certain migrants, ones that are believed to have been from Venezuela, that says that those who arrived in Massachusetts would be eligible for some benefits, numerous benefits, which again are not available to migrants, which included 8 months of cash assistance with housing, food, clothing, transportation to job interviews, job training, job placement, registering children from school, assistance for applying for Social Security cards, other things. Again, they're not eligible for those things. So that's lie number 2, right? Lie number 3 is a little bit more difficult to spot, but he says it a couple of times. Oh, they have lawyers representing them in court, and they're demanding rights and claims. Can you believe they have lawyers? Can you believe they have lawyers? Now, that's basically insinuating that they shouldn't have, or they're not eligible to have legal representation, which they are. They are, actually. And what they're doing, by the way, is not demanding insane rights and claims that they shouldn't have. No, they're demanding that Ron DeSantis follow the law of the United States, which puts the immigration at the purview of the federal government. And so Ron DeSantis, in doing the stunt, interfered with that by shipping them, across the country, so that very likely they could miss their court appointments to argue their asylum claims. But see, again, getting back to Rubio, he knows his audience. He knows that they're racist. It's not going to matter to them what the truth really is. They don't care. They don't care. And so Rubio lies to them and says, you should be angry. You should be angry. Understand that that's one of the things, anger, that triggers conservatives, right? Well, actually, no. The things that trigger conservatives actually lead to this anger. Those 2 things that really do trigger conservative brains, and there's been studies on this, is fear. In this case, fear of the other, fear of immigrants, fear of brown people, fear of being replaced. The other is disgust, right? And that's why you hear, of course, Tucker Carlson say things like, oh, you dirty, disgusting immigrants coming over. Can you believe it? And so you combine those things, you get anger. And so that's why you have this knee-jerk reaction to immigrants who are not white. They've been told over and over again, propagandized to, that immigrants hate America. Well, now wait, why would you want to live in a country that you hate? Why would you want to go over to a country that you despise? No, the migrants are actually trying to make a better life for themselves because they've heard about the promise of America, the whole idea of America, and that it's a safer place for them to be. Again, some of these migrants, they left here because gangs had threatened to murder their entire families if their sons were not forced to join that gang. Some were shut down and threatened by their own governments. Others are members of the LGBTQ community that have been discriminated against by their governments. That's why they're requesting asylum. They're not here to steal your job. They're not here to come and replace you, whatever that means. They're not here to take your money. No, none of that even makes any sense. No, they're actually here to come find a better life, to create a better life for themselves. And look, immigration enriches this country. They're often incredibly hard workers and create a lot of new businesses and opportunities. Or yes, American workers as well. But when you try to explain facts, understand that they don't care about facts. All they care about is their unrelenting, burning hatred of anyone that's the other. And unfortunately, that's what tends to drive them.